Welcome back to Chronicles and Cocktails. Today, we're stepping inside one of Puerto Rico's oldest and most fascinating treasures, La Catedral de San Juan Bautista. This isn't just a church, it's the second oldest church in the Western Hemisphere and the oldest in US soil. Every stone tells a story of faith, power, and survival. The history begins in 1821, at the very dawn of Spanish colonization. The original church was built of wood and destroyed by a hurricane. What we see today began rising in 1540, rebuilt in stone and slowly shaped over centuries into the Gothic facade we know today. So sit back and let's walk through 500 years of history together. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. The story starts in 1508, when Juan Ponce de León founded Caparra, the island's first Spanish settlement. But when the settlement moved to San Juan's islet in 1521, the need for a grand temple was undeniable. The same year, the first cathedral rose here, built of wood. It didn't last. Hurricanes tore it apart, so the people rebuilt, this time in stone. By 1540, construction of the cathedral we see today was underway. Over centuries, expansions and restorations turned into the heart of the city, spiritually and culturally. La Catedral Metropolitana Basílica de San Juan Bautista is more than a church. It's the seat of the archdiocese. It stands on Calle del Cristo, facing Plaza de la Catedral, framed by the old Carmelite convent, today transformed into Hotel El Convento. Inside the cathedral lie Puerto Rico's most important relics and tombs. At the center, the resting place of Juan Ponce de León himself, Puerto Rico's first governor and explorer who sailed these seas during the age of exploration. Nearby, the relics of San Pío, a Christian martyr, remind us of the deep ties between Rome and San Juan. The cathedral also preserves vestments worn by Pope John Paul II during his 1984 visit, and an image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, patroness of Mexico and Empress of the Americas. Above all, this is the sanctuary of Our Lady of Divine Providence, the patroness of Puerto Rico. Architecturally, the cathedral is a living patchwork. Gothic arches, neoclassical details, and Caribbean resilience, all under one roof. Hurricanes battered it, restorations renewed it, each era leaving its mark. But it was never only a place of worship. In its early years, the cathedral was the town square of faith and politics, where announcements were made, processions began, and even power negotiated. But before we continue to the next segment, I think it's time for the cocktail. And today, I decided to make a very simple but classic cocktail. One with the Caribbean feel, the daiquiri. But not the daiquiri we all know from French Quarter bars or old San Juan tourist traps. No, this one is not frozen, and it's not red, and it's not blue either. This one is the classic and original recipe. This recipe, I got it from the book, Bar La Florida Cocktails. This is history in a book. History in a book. History in a book. History. I'm gonna link down below to the book so you can get it and you can start making very classic cocktails, tropical Caribbean island cocktails, historic cocktails. So come on, let's go. Like always, let's make a cocktail. So we're gonna add at least 2 teaspoons or 2 small bar spoons. Let's do 2.5 of brown sugar, right? That's what's going in there. Then the recipe calls for the juice of half of lime, but I'm going to use lemon and lime. So we're going to cut the lime in half. So let's press it a little bit. That way all the juices come out. So we cut half a lime, right? And cut the lemon in half. And there's a nice little tool for that. It's a presser, right? Something like that. And we're gonna put the half lime right in there. And then we're just gonna squeeze it into the sugar. That's half. Right? But I'm going to do half of the lemon. I feel the lemon is a little bit more aromatic. So we're going to add 1 ounce of white rum, 1 ounce of dark rum. We're going to mix it. The original recipe in the book calls for Bacardi, of course. This was the book from La Floridita in Cuba. So back then, the rum, the most famous rum, was Bacardi. So we're gonna do about 1 ounce of dark rum, and then we're gonna do about 1 ounce of the white, just to give it a little balance. And again, we're gonna shake this together, and now we're gonna add some ice. But before that, let me explain to you the glass. The glass that we're using for this one is a coupe, so it's a very nice, classy, fancy glass. What I did is I put one in the refrigerator, and just before I'm gonna serve it in, I'm gonna take the one that it's cold. But I just want you to see, this is very nice. This is a very nice glass. So now we're gonna take the Boston shaker and we're gonna add some ice. And we're gonna fill it halfway in. Now we're gonna add everything else to the ice. So we pour in the rum, the lime, and the lemon, along with the sugar. So we're gonna shake this very well. You hit it a little bit like that, so it creates a seal. This is cold, it's gonna create a seal, and then you just put. It's shaking a little. Now we're gonna get the cold coupe out, the one that's been in the refrigerator. So when the cocktail goes in, it finds a nice cold glass. Shake again. Grab a strainer, put it there, and just go in. You can, if you don't like the little pieces of ice, you can take a strainer and you strain it all out. And now we're gonna grab a dried lemon, a dried lime, and we're just gonna set it right there. And you got yourselves a very nice daiquiri. Salud. And you can feel the freshness of the lime and the lemon, and it's citric. The whites and the aged rum make a perfect balance together. Like they get in there, they get all happy and nice, and the lime and the lemon with a little bit of sugar. You can make it sweeter if you like. You can make it a little bit more citric. You can make it a little bit more alcoholic if you like. But for now, let's enjoy the daiquiri, the original daiquiri, and enjoy the episode. Salud. What do you think? I think I'm about to be a lot more happier. Very nice. For 5 centuries, the cathedral has been the stage of Puerto Rican faith, processions at Easter and Christmas, weddings of governors and dignitaries, masses of remembrance, and celebrations of national identity. Through every chapter, it has remained a place where devotion and culture meet. When you step inside, you're not just entering a church. You're standing where explorers, governors, priests, and ordinary Puerto Ricans all gathered. A place layered with centuries of identity. The Cathedral of San Juan Bautista isn't just the oldest church in Puerto Rico. It's a living monument, a survivor of storms, wars, and centuries. A place where Puerto Rico's chronicles began and where they still unfold. So next time you're in Old San Juan, come down, walk on Calle del Cristo, step inside the cathedral, light a candle, meditate, admire the architecture, the history. The cathedral isn't just a place of worship. It's a museum. It's a place to reflect, to give thanks, to enjoy, and remember, always, always breathe the history and remember, this is where Puerto Rico's story began. I'll see you on the next episode. Happy Sunday, everybody. Salud. History in a book.
History in a book.